In the very first moments, God started to create. He made the heavens and the earth. This was the absolute beginning of everything we know. Before this act of creation, the earth was not formed properly. It was an empty space, a vast emptiness without any shape. There was nothing but darkness covering everything. This darkness was profound, covering the surface of the great deep waters. It was a world waiting to be given order and purpose by a divine plan. The Bible tells us that the Spirit of God was moving. It hovered gently over the face of the dark waters. This presence of God was active, even before the first words of creation were spoken. Imagine a vast, dark, watery expanse, and over it, the powerful yet gentle presence of God. This sets the scene for the amazing acts of creation that were about to unfold step by step, day by day. The universe was poised for a magnificent transformation, from chaos to cosmos. Then God spoke. His first command was powerful and simple. God said, "Let there be light." And just like that, light appeared. This was not the sun or moon, as they were not yet made. This was a pure elemental light, breaking through the existing darkness. The appearance of light was the very first act to bring order to the formless void. It was a fundamental change, the dawn of creation itself, showing God's power to bring existence from non-existence with just His words. God looked at the light He had made. He saw that the light was good. Goodness is a key theme in this story of creation. After seeing its goodness, God did something very important. He separated the light from the darkness. This separation created a pattern, a rhythm for the new world. God called the light day. He called the darkness night. And so the evening passed, and the morning came. This was the very first day of creation, a day of foundational change and divine approval. On the second day, God continued His work of bringing order. He said, "Let there be an expanse between the waters." This expanse was to separate water from water. Imagine a great space being formed right in the middle of all the existing water. This was a very specific instruction. It was designed to create different regions within the new world. This act of separation was crucial for the next steps in forming a habitable environment, preparing for more complex creations that would soon follow. So, God made this expanse. He carefully separated the waters that were under the expanse from the waters that were above the expanse, and it happened just as He commanded. God then gave a name to this great expanse. He called the expanse sky. This sky created a visible division, a beautiful blue canopy above. The evening passed and the morning came, marking the end of the second day. Each day brought new, wonderful changes to the world being formed, all according to God's deliberate design. On the third day, God turned His attention to the waters below the sky. He said, "Let the water under the sky be gathered to one place." He commanded the waters to come together. As the waters gathered, something new appeared. Dry ground emerged from where the water had been. This was another act of separation and formation. The world was taking on more definite shapes. Land and water, two essential elements for life, were now distinct parts of the young earth, providing diverse environments. God called the dry ground land. He called the gathered waters seas, and once again, God looked at what He had made, and He saw that it was good. His work pleased Him. But the third day was not yet over. God then said, "Let the land produce vegetation." He commanded plants to grow. Seed-bearing plants and trees that bear fruit with seed in it appeared all over the land. Each plant was made according to its kind, ensuring future growth and diversity. The earth was now green and fruitful. The fourth day brought new wonders to the heavens. God said, "Let there be lights in the expanse of the sky." These lights were to separate the day from the night. They would also serve as signs. These signs would mark sacred times, and also days and years. This was about creating order in time, as well as in space. The universe was becoming a giant clock, a calendar set by its creator. These celestial bodies would govern the rhythms of life on earth. So God made two great lights. He made the greater light to govern the day. We call this light the sun. He made the lesser light to govern the night. We call this light the moon. He also made the stars, sprinkling them across the dark sky. God set all these lights in the expanse of the sky. Their purpose was to give light to the earth. They were also to govern the day and the night, and to continue the separation of light from darkness. God saw that this was good. The fourth day ended with a sky full of brilliant lights. On the fifth day, God commanded, "Let the water teem with living creatures." He also said, "Let birds fly above the earth across the expanse of the sky." So God created the great creatures of the sea. He made every living thing with which the water teems. These creatures moved and swam, each according to its kind. He also created every winged bird according to its kind. The seas were now full of life, and the air was filled with the movement of birds. God looked at all the sea creatures and all the birds he had made. He saw that his creation was good. Then God blessed them. He said to them, "Be fruitful and increase in number." He wanted them to fill the water in the seas. He also wanted the birds to increase on the earth. This blessing was a command for life to flourish and spread. The evening passed and the morning came, marking the end of the 5th day, a day teeming with new animal life in water and sky. The 6th day arrived, and God continued to fill the earth. He said, "Let the land produce living creatures according to their kinds." He commanded the creation of livestock, such as cows and sheep. He also made creatures that move along the ground, like reptiles and insects, and he created the wild animals each according to its kind, and it happened just as God had spoken. God saw that all these land animals he had made were good, fitting perfectly into the world he was crafting. Then, God said something very special. "Let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness." This was a unique moment in creation. Humans were to be different from the animals. God said that mankind would rule. They would rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky. They would rule over the livestock and all the wild animals. They would also rule over all the creatures that move along the ground. This was a significant responsibility given to humanity. So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God he created them. He created them male and female. This shows the value and dignity given to both men and women from the very beginning. After creating them, God blessed them. He said to them, "Be fruitful and increase in number. Fill the earth and subdue it." He gave them the earth to care for and manage. God also gave them every seed-bearing plant and every tree with fruit for food. The 6th day concluded with humanity as the pinnacle of God's creative work. By the 7th day, God had finished all the work of creating that he had been doing. So on the 7th day, he rested from all his work. This was not because God was tired, it was to set an example and to mark the completion of his perfect creation. God blessed the 7th day. He made it holy. He set it apart as a special day. This was because on that day, he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. This day of rest signifies completeness, peace, and holiness.